Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner, and I am ready for part two, and actually the very final part. I, I'm sure I missed something. I tried my best to get everything, even the most crazy stuff. I'm down here now to the higher end stuff. It's interesting because I'm looking at this group as opposed to the one from last night. And the last night ones I was talking about, man, those are all like great users. These are more like collector's pieces, a little bit. I mean, definitely, some of these are great knives to use, but yeah, but it's not. They're not quite as, you know, not quite as rugged as the ones from last night. I had like Hinderer and Dimco, and man, you could tell the blades on those knives were just like definitely ready to be used. These are great knives. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're kind of, for me, more collectors. I don't carry them quite as much. I do try to carry all my knives from time to time, and they are great knives. And I spent money on them. A lot of them came in secondary market. So the prices that are when I was talking about the table price. When you get into the higher end knives where some of them are a little hard to find, you end up with a price that you see them available for, as opposed to the price that they were originally sold from the original seller or from resellers that sell them or whatever. So yeah, so the table price is what I tend to have as best I can in my spreadsheet. Got my spreadsheet organized. I got the knives in the right order tonight. I'm not going to have to do any crazy stuff in the middle, which is good. I guess I'm getting close to Blade Show and things get a little bit crazy. Work was crazy today, but it was totally on another situation. But at least it kept me distracted, got me through the day. Because really, I got one more day of work, and then off for the weekend and the show. So that's gonna be great. Obviously, you see the Rockstead. That's kind of like the little eye candy there. If you've watched my channel for a while, you've probably already seen this one. I gotta get the cloth out, right? I'll use one of these Devo cloths. They're pretty good, because that one is a fingerprint magnet for sure. It's crazy. So we'll start. With the one that snuck into the first set last night, and I almost started until I looked at my spreadsheet and I go, it's not even on there, but I knew that I had kind of organized it. And I was in a Chris Unprofessional Dads live earlier, and talking about stuff, and a lot of people like just great, nice things to say about like my sharpening. It's like, well, that was better than the comment I got on one of my videos saying that if I don't hand sharpen, I'm not really sharpening. Like, but I was really, and the people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm catching up on your videos." I got long videos. These things go long. I was surprised that it went over 30 minutes last night. Anyway, here we go. We got the Ursus. So it is here. It's the Shiro Goroth. This is one of those brands that I didn't know if I would ever have. And I was at the California Custom Knife Show last year, and they had this one. And you're used to seeing these things like over $1,000. This one was $625, and I'm going, this is my opportunity. This is my opportunity. I wasn't buying a lot at that show, mainly because you had a lot of $1,000 knives there. There were a lot of very expensive knives. It's put on by R1, who is like a reseller or a seller of very high-end knives, and they had this one. And so I guess this is the budget version of Shiro Goroth. So $625. It's just plain titanium, but very, very nice. And the blade steel is an interesting one. This is made in Russia. Remember, if you saw the one from yesterday, it was all USA made. This time it's like half and half, and we'll talk about that. But anyway, this one is made in Russia, and it has this crazy steel called Chromax PM. And I don't think I had ever heard of it before this. I think it's something, maybe it's more common over in Russia or with like custom-ish makers, like, or low low volume production knives like this one is. But it's got a lot of the cool things that you see on a lot. So you can see the Chromax PM. Hopefully you can read that. A lot of things that you see on the Shiro Gorovs, like especially that smooth action. The action is just unbelievable. It is double row bearing system, and I've you know, every one that I've used that I maybe even sometimes found out later had double row bearings. It just makes so much difference. It just rolls so smooth. It doesn't have that bearing feeling where you can feel the bearing. It feels like it's riding on glass. I mean, it is just so smooth. And the good thing about that is that it is a flipper only. And this is one that I can definitely forgive that lack of multiple deployments, because it is so smooth and so satisfying to flick. It's just incredible. It's got that crazy pivot. I mean, it's just basically a flathead screwdriver, right? I don't know. Maybe they make a special tool for it. But yeah, when I've taken this apart, it's been just a flathead screwdriver. Yeah, it's got a nice little landing spot here since it is a flipper only. And I've seen this on a few other knives where they kind of chamfer both sides so that when you open it and your finger lands on there, it's got this little landing place, and it just kind of helps to smooth out the feel of the, they want the experience to be all, oh man, it's so nice. All there. That's some nice milling with the even though it's not one of the fancier ones with a lot of Mokutai or Zircotai or all the crazy stuff, the mirrored versions that you're going to pay $1,000-$2,000 for. Very basic, but it does have the bear, so that's good. And it does have this cool clip. And at first I didn't, probably it was months into owning this, excuse me, when I first noticed that clip, but it's just very interesting. It's got this, kind of a ridge right here, and it's not symmetrical. It's got a little curve to it, but also the way, it's got the relief here, but it's got like a tab at the bottom of it. It goes into the relief area. So what happens is when you, maybe I can show you with the cloth here. Let's go ahead and close it. When you go in with your pocket, hopefully this will really show it. It's very low profile, and that helps so much in the grip that you don't feel it so much. But as you go in, the pants pocket kind of goes down in. So as you get caught into the clip, it goes down into that groove. And so you have plenty of room underneath there. Whereas sometimes when they're low profile, it's hard to get over that seam. This actually does, even though it's very hard to show with this microfiber cloth. But it goes all the way in, and then you have plenty of room back here too. The depth at the back of the clip is good. Just because there's like a little bit of a groove in there, it gives you a little bit more depth. And then when you have it in the hand, you don't feel that clip. You don't feel it. I mean, probably feel down here more than I actually feel the clip. And it's usually that clip that you feel, but there's hardly even feel anything. It's just very, very, very smooth. Very nice. And my computer shut down. So hang on a second, guys. Always got to have some kind of malfunction. Computer will shut off. I got to keep it's funny. I got to keep a YouTube video going on the background behind my spreadsheet so that it doesn't shut off. So I think something's going on. Have you ever seen? I don't know if you don't work in an office, you don't work with computers and like crazy corporate IT departments. And they'll have your computer shut down because somebody might come in and steal the secrets of the corporation, and you got to make sure that it shuts off if you look away for 2 minutes. Anyway, there's this kind of mouse called a jiggler, and one of the guys that works for me, and I don't care. He got it, and every time if you go over there to have a conversation with him, and it's the same with anybody. If you're talking to somebody for a while, all of a sudden their computer goes and logs off, and it's a jiggler, and you can see it just moving the mouse around the screen, and it just does it just all day long. While whenever you're not touching it, it's just moving it, and so it never turns off. I think maybe I have to get one of those, but I think it's just the funniest thing, and it's just kind of crazy, you know. Anyway, little side thing, just this is why my videos go so long. So I'm only on one knife, and it's already 10 minutes in, so I gotta move on. But I love the Shiro Goroff Ursus. It's the Quantum Ursus is what it's called. Titanium frame lock, Chromax PM steel, trailing point knife. Oh, I should leave these out. I'll move that out of the way so I can leave these all on the table. Okay, next one. All right, this might get some people mad. This is kind of what, last night when I went on that rant, and I promise I'm not going to do it again. It was, I guess Casey's got something against Medford, and he's not alone. There's a lot of people that really have a problem with Medford. Apparently there was something that happened at some point, and I just have kind of gotten over the drama factory. I'm not really buying this because I think he's a guy I want to hang out with and chat with. Apparently, he said some things that people didn't like. I mean, if he's ripping people off or whatever, I haven't heard that. It's just that he's a horrible person or whatever. But anyway, I have people that I admire and like a lot that are very much into Medford knives. I did get this on the secondhand market, and it is the Micro Praetorian. And it's funny as hell. It is funny as hell. And it's really interesting because it is small for a Medford, but really, I mean, really, it's not really all that small. I mean, you got a full, well, you got your pinkies falling off. It's a 3-finger knife here. You can't really choke up too well here. But as far as the overall measurement, I mean, it's not a big knife. It's not what I would call full size. We're talking about 6 3/4, but the blade length is about 2 3/4. I got a lot of knives that small that aren't called micro, but it is thick. It's a beast, and it does have that kind of feel. And that's the thing. And that when I was talking about knives or kind of collector knives, Medford's one of those brands that's been around for a long time. For one thing, years ago, before all the drama came out, I mean, there was a lot of people that I really hear good things about Medfords from are people that have been buying knives for years and years and years and buying these kind of some like mid-tech type knives. And I did get one from a friend of mine that was very much a fan of them, and he gave me a great price. So I just wanted to be able to experience it. So I got one, the Micro Praetorian, and I got two, actually. I got another one. And this is the Colonial. So these are, the funny thing is that, with Medford knives, you really, like, this is a D2 steel knife. And then this one is a CPM D2. So it's the fancy D2. But they're D2 knives that a lot of people also dislike. So apparently. Yeah, but I don't really have a problem with it. It's funny, I'm in California, and you would think, because I'm right near the water, near the ocean, but I think it really has to do with the humidity. This is kind of a cool knife. It's not a full-size Medford. It definitely is thick. It's got that slab side sort of thing with the milling. So it's got Medford style to it, but it's definitely maybe not micro, but mini. I don't know. It's not as big as most of the Praetorians and stuff like that are. The thing, if I was going to complain about Medford, I'd say the knives are really, really expensive. But apparently they do a lot of hand work with the knives, so it's kind of closer to a custom in that way. But, it's still expensive, and it's still kind of out of my price range. I've wanted to get maybe another one. Probably won't get a ton in my collection. I know there's people that just get like Medford, bunch of them, but I don't think that'll ever be me. Maybe a couple. I might want to get like a Slim Midi or what's that one? The Smooth Criminal. because that's the kind of a lower price one. And one of these days, I'd like to get a Praetorian. Just it's kind of like it's kind of like one of those things. It's kind of like getting a CRK or another knife that I'm going to show you in a minute, or this knife here actually. The next knife is the Custom Knife Factory. So we got Russia, U.S., U.S. So clearly, I'm not, American made only. I know people, and I have full respect for people who buy American made only. I don't have a problem with it at all, and I actually would like that if there was more options of American made knives that were more affordable for somebody like me that can't really afford. I mean, obviously, I am spending some serious money. I'm here with a Rockstead, so I can't, complain that, oh, I'm so poor. No, I'm not poor, but it is painful to spend the money. Secondary market, again, and this is where I jump on these things because I get a sweet deal, and somebody's selling it, and they need to sell it for the money a lot of times because it's like a sweet light knife like this, nobody wants to sell. But something comes up in life, and so that gives me an excuse to push me over the edge and spend the money. So price wise, we already said $625 here. So this guy right here, the Micro Praetorian, not such a micro price, also $625 and $650 for the Colonial. But then, like I said, if you're gonna get a full blown Praetorian, you're paying like $1,200 or something like that. A lot. Sometimes you can get them cheaper, but and maybe I will someday. Who knows? Or if somebody says I need to sell this knife because I need it to fund something, that might push me over the edge. But this one also I did get on the secondary, and it is an awesome knife. The CRK Evo 3.0. So love this knife. It's not the most practical, and you really got to watch out for your finger. You see, it almost got me. It's trying to get me, but it's beautiful. Look at that, the handle on that. It's got that like bark pattern. It is beautiful, beautiful. The jimping on it is just so nice. It's not super grabbing, tearing my skin off, but man, you can feel it, and it really holds you in. It's got that kind of flaring out at the end on the handle. Got the gear back spacer, which adds a little bit more grip. Got this forward finger choil, which is just lovely, lovely. And you can choke back, but why would you? Because this is lovely. It's so nice right here. I really like this knife a lot. The grind lines are just amazing, right? What's that one that I just had with the great grind lines in my Faulkner 5? That was the, why am I blanking? The Pictus. This is like a big version of the Pictus. I mean, that's what I remember when I saw it. Part of what I thought about is the grind lines, and it reminded me of this Evo 3.0. Rotten Designs, Custom Knife Factory. It's interesting because this is not really, I guess the companies in Russia, they got to assemble the parts made in Japan, which they're a lot of money, but they're making custom knives in a production format, and they do such an incredible job. I mean, it really doesn't. You feel this thing, you think it's American made knife because it's just so, the fit and finish is amazing, and they put it together in Russia, and they must have good QC on the stuff, and they are making it a custom knife. This was originally came out as a custom, but they're making a production, so the price, even though the price tag on this dude is $729. It's still a lot cheaper than the custom would be. So it's beautiful. Oh man, it's just, I can't regret having this knife. It's just beautiful. All right, and that's why these things tend to be more to look at. I will carry them. I definitely will carry. I love to carry this thing. It just makes me feel good. I'll carry any of these knives really, but don't carry them as much as a lot of the other knives. But I have so many, so it's just hard to carry any knife a lot. This is another one that's so great. Strider, look at that. It's got this tire tread, like somebody just ran over it with a truck, and very extremely ultra grippy. It's the S&G. I would love to have an SMF. Maybe someday. That's another one. That's kind of like the. It's kind of like the Medfords. You know, they're just so expensive, but it's just so iconic. Oh man, this one's really tight right now. This is a. I guess Striders tend to come. This is nice and centered right now, but if I were to loosen it, so to give it a little bit more action, it would not be centered. And I think that's something that happens. Lock stick also something that happens. Doesn't have it right now. Feels really good, but I've had it before. Sometimes I get a pencil out and kind of rub it on there, just to get rid of that. But it is smooth action. It's just tight. It's tight, but it is a bearing knife, and or not a bearing. I'm sorry, washer knife, washer knife. But man, yeah, I kind of thought they were ugly at one point until I got one in hand. And now, oh man, that feels so good. I love that flare. That flare is so nice. And then, of course, the choke up spot also. But I actually like it back here as well because it does feel very good. You got a finger groove or a finger choil right there. And then it has the sharpening choil separately, which is an interesting Strider kind of thing. I've never been a big fan of the Tiger Stripe, but on Strider it just seems appropriate. It's kind of like the little lanyard thing on the Chris Reeves knives. It just seems like it goes with it. So it's an iconic knife. It's all titanium on this side. The steel on this one is 20 CV, so it's a premium steel. And man, it's a really great knife. I really like having this in the collection. Doesn't get carried as much. Speaking of not getting carried as much, but beloved, the Rockstead. Let's check it out. Let's get it out of the box. Oh my gosh, the girlfriend, she just went over and above. Over and above. Look at that beauty. Look at that thing. This was the one she really, for my 60th birthday, because I am old. I'll get that later. I am old, and she wanted to recognize that I am old. She's a little younger than me. She's getting close. I got to get her something really good, right, for her 60th coming up, because this is it's amazing. But anyway, it is the Higo 2, and you touch it and immediately get fingerprints on it. But man, look at the beauty. And she asked me which one I wanted to get, and I went through a list of different ones in my head what I wanted to get, and she wanted it to be something that I wouldn't even be able to get. And this is really one. Ever since Neves, when he was starting to really get his big rise, he had a giveaway, and I just remember it so like it was yesterday, but it was like so in my head. He was living rent free in my head with that giveaway. He had somebody he was calling Mr. Wonderful or something. I don't know. We ever found out who that was, but he had donated 2 different Rocksteads to the giveaway, and I was just imagining. I was just dreaming about winning that Rockstead, and it stuck in my head the whole time. And of course I didn't win it, but this is even better because it was a gift. Look at the mirror on that. The DLC, it's all DLCs, those full-on DLC. So this DLC with this milling pattern on here that you just kind of roll it around. And this is like one of those ones that you want to have perfect lighting, and you want it to be rolling around on one of those black mirrored platforms and stuff like that. I can't really do it full justice, as it's so amazing, and you can't touch it and not get the fingerprints on it. So, but the action on this is so smooth. I mean, it shakes, but oh my gosh, it does have a front flipper even. But everything is tight. Well, not tight. It's not really tight. I wonder if I can do this. No, kind of. I don't want to be rough with this thing. This wasn't, of any knife of mine, this is more of a save queen. I would never put this one in harm's way in any way, shape, or form. It is like the save queen of my collection. This one does have very premium steel. Another one I've never heard of before, YXR7, but it's supposed to be amazing. I forget what the HRC is on it because I'm not a super HRC person. Look at how mirrored that is, though. But it is high. It is high. And it is the zero edge. So if you look at it, you don't see a bevel towards the end. Maybe you lose a little bit of the coating right at the end of the edge, but there's no bevel there. It just goes straight to a zero. So they want you to send it to them if you ever have to sharpen it. And I don't think that I'll ever have to sharpen it because I mean, I'll cut paper with it. I'll cut paper for you guys, because that you mean that much to me. But it is just amazing. Hey, my voice is starting to go. It must be getting close to that 30-minute mark because my voice is starting to go. But we'll cut this thing, and that'll call it for the get the paper out for the whole collection. Try not to drop a bunch of stuff on the ground. Oh, come on. Come on now. Come on. There we go. Finally. Okay. So this is the grand finale. The entire collection. 300 and something knives. It's a lot. It's a lot. And a lot of those, like the swords and stuff, aren't even on that list. So it's probably like 360, 370 knives. I don't know. And a couple I couldn't find or probably just got left somewhere. Oh my gosh. It says that quiet cut. It's like you just let the weight of the knife drop on the paper and it magically cuts. It's just unbelievable. I could just do this all day long. It just, whew. The most beautiful knife in the world to me. Just like my girlfriend is the most beautiful woman in the world to me. And it's not just because she gave me this knife. She is just a wonderful person. But yeah, it's awesome. It's truly awesome. And how many times can I say awesome? And it still wouldn't be enough. But anyway, thanks for letting me share it. This is like the pinnacle. This is like the top of the mountain right here. This guy, the Higo 2 from Rockstead. All right, guys. Oh, price tag, $1,200. $1,200. Of course, yes, you can spend a lot more than that on knives. You certainly can. But I never have. I've never gotten close to. I haven't spent over, $4,000. I mean, $1,000 on knives. 4,000. It's like, oh, that's what I want to spend. But yeah, in the long run, I have with all the knives. Obviously, somebody was asking me. You know who you are. Was just asking me about if I'd ever put one of my favorite guys in the chat. You know who you are. He was asking me if I've ever looked up the price of everything. I have a spreadsheet, and part of the spreadsheet, because they were made for accounting, you can add up those numbers, and I have my prices here. Of course, they are, like I say, it's the table price. So I paid less on some things, but man, if you add it all up, it's crazy. And so I'm not telling anybody. I'm not telling you how much it is. But I did mention to him that it is 5 figures, over 5 figures. And that's on the left side of the decimal point. So it's a lot. That's a lot. I could probably trade them in for a really nice car. If somebody, wanted to pay full price for all, of course, they are used. Especially some of the lesser cost knives, I don't really keep the boxes and stuff like that. So that way, because I really wasn't ever planning on selling anything. But anyway, so I could probably only sell them for half the price, but it'd still be a lot of money. All right, that's enough talking. Thanks for watching all of these great videos. And I only say they're great because the knives are great. Not necessarily me, but it's the knives. And thank you so much for going on this long. I looked that up. The first video was like 2.5 months ago. Whoo! It's been a long road. And we've been traveling it together. And, you know, so I am, it's bittersweet. You know, I'm ready to hang up the collection videos for a while. I'm ready to show you what I got at the show, and I don't even know what it is yet, but we'll see. And I'm sure it's going to be good. There's going to be good stuff. There may be stuff I haven't even thought about that I'm going to get, because that's what happens sometimes. You go to a table and you go, oh my gosh, I've never seen this. This is so cool. I have to buy it. So that happens too. All right, you guys take care, and I will see you one more before I take off, but one more, and then there'll be stuff from the show. So we'll see you then. You guys, see you later.